To make your tree painting, the first thing you want to do is use the tape to mask off where you want your trees to go. So if you want a fatter tree, you want to use the thicker tape. If you want a thinner tree, use the thinner tape. You could also put tape next to each other to create different sizes of trees. You don't want the tape to be super sticky because it's going to be hard to get off the paper and it will rip your paper. So before you put it on your paper, take it and stick it to your clothing a couple of times to get some of the stickiness off of it. And then put it on your paper. Make sure the tape goes all the way from the top of the paper to the bottom of the paper. Don't have it stop halfway. Okay, once you put the tape on, be careful to leave the tape loose at the end. Don't take the tape and fold it over the back like that because then it's going to be hard to get off. We're going to be taking the tape off in a minute. Also, remember, before you put on your paper, stick it to your clothing to make the tape less sticky so it's easier to get off the paper. And don't press it onto the paper super hard. After you have your masking tape on there, you're going to paint horizontal lines. So horizontal means side to side across your paper. And you could do straight lines, you could do curved lines, you could do zigzag lines. That's up to you, but you just go straight across, go all the way from one side of the paper to the other. Don't leave white space at the edges. You could do normal sky colors like blues and purples, or you could do sunset colors, your choice. Okay, after you have your whole piece of paper painted, make sure there's no white at the edges, at the side, or on the top or the bottom. Then you're just going to carefully peel off the tape. It's possible that the tape is going to still tear your paper a little bit, even if you did a good job getting some of the sticky off. So if it does tear your paper, just slow down. Maybe try to pull the tape from the other side of your paper. But it's not a big deal if it rips it just a tiny bit because we are going to paint over where the tape was. See, mine ripped my paper a little bit. It's not a big deal. After you get your sky done and the tape taken off, you want to use a color. I'm going to use black, but it doesn't really matter which color you use, to do shadows on your trees and to do branches. So you want to get a smaller brush, a round brush, and paint with the tip of it. You're going to pick one side of your trees, so I'm going to pick the left side. And down the left side of all my trees, I'm just going to make a line with the color that I chose. Doesn't have to be straight because trees aren't perfectly straight. Could also add some curves onto your trees if you want them to look a little more curved, more realistic. And then you could go through and add branches. The trick to branches is making sure that you're painting with the very tip of your brush. You don't want to press down on your brush at all. I'm going to keep it just on the very tip. You could do thicker lines, thinner lines, have lines come off of your lines. And then your painting's done.